17 hours till deadline. Still got no idea what I'm doing and who's going where. Is it time to panic? Hello and welcome to the Sorare Lounge, courtesy of the Sorare Thursday Club. Santé.
Santé.
I am your host, Ricky, aka the Sorare Mamba, and I am joined, as always, by my glamorous co-host, play sharper Everton expert and duck lover, Johnny, aka Dornado, also known as the Easter Bunny today, apparently. That sleepy, depressing international break is almost behind us, and we can once again have our brains melted by setting lineups because the transition phase is here, baby. You know, we've got the full Sorare gear on, ready to go. It's a new phase. It's a new dawn.
Let's do it.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. Happy Easter all. Hope you've all got your 4-day bank holiday weekend sorted. Don't know how it works in other countries in England, but we've got a 4-day weekend. I'm just getting in character because I'm doing the Easter egg hunt for the family this weekend. So, wearing them in. Like when you got new shoes, you want to wear them in. So
yeah, wearing your ears in. Yeah,
wearing ears. Anyway, let's take those off and get the Sorare merch on now.
Yeah. To be fair, you have very small ears naturally, so that does compensate quite well for you.
Yeah. All good, mate. Ready to talk about the transition phase, and I feel like we're both going to learn a bit of stuff on this show because there's still a lot to be discovered. I think about the new transition, but yeah.
I mean, when it dropped, I definitely had like a strong mental block / headache trying to understand everything that was going on. But yeah, it's been a while now. A lot of it's digested. I've listened to a lot of other people talk about it, so hopefully we're ready to roll. So yeah, today, as it's been that pesky international break, there's not actually been a lot going on, really, has there? So there's been a decent build-up and a whip up to this massive game week for everyone on social media and everything. So yeah, we'll mainly focus on all of that and maybe a look at the Premier League slate if we've not been going on for too long towards the end. But as always, we like to warm up with 5 random questions to get your brain started, to get it into gear.
I like it.
Affectionately known as 5 and kicking in these parts on this here podcast in this here lounge. So 5 questions to loosen the lips. Loosen the lips? Do I want to say that?
Yeah, why not? That's accurate. I mean, we're good mates, so it's fine.
Okay. Little sip of beer. Wet the whistle. Okay, question 1.
Okay.
In homage to the Sorare Burger Club, which I'm a founding member of, what's your favourite burger topping combo?
Burger topping. I mean, if there's halloumi on the menu, I'm getting it added to a burger. I'm telling you right now. I love some sort of like spicy barbecue sauce. There's plenty about, but you can get a bit of that, bit of halloumi on top, maybe a cheeky little gherkin as well. I like a gherkin. I know you don't like pickles, do you? But
I like
get them in. Get them all in. I'm going to say 3 things there, but yeah, I'd add them all in if I could.
Yeah, I like Dean Gherkin, ex-Bristol City goalkeeper. He was decent for a spell, but not on a burger. All right, I like the classic, like the barbecue rodeo style one. The bacon, the onion rings, barbecue sauce, bit of American cheese on there. Job done. Don't need to mess around too much. Just a classic barbecue style. Next question: what's the one card that got away on Sorare? So you either had the chance to buy it and didn't, or sold it, or the one card that got away?
There's a lot of options here, I feel. It's funny, there was a lot of cards about a year ago which I regretted not buying because their prices went up, but now they're actually all about the same price as what they were a year ago. So yeah. I remember specifically getting very annoyed when I didn't buy Sabitzer when he was at United because his rare was like something stupid, like 18 quid or something. And then he signed for Dortmund and was doing really well for Austria. And I was like, big mistake. But I haven't looked, but he's probably about that now, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'd say the one which I owned, which was the one that got away, was a Declan Rice rare. So this is back in the early days before limited was even a thing. I owned one of his OG West Ham cards. I think I ended up spending £20 on it, something like that, which was quite expensive at the time, and sold him probably for about 60. And I literally thought I was the man. I was like, I'm going to buy a new house. I'm going to move to Miami. It's going to be amazing. And yeah, I don't know what he's worth now, but he certainly would have peaked at the high end when he was at sort of just joined Arsenal and was leaving West Ham. He's probably £1,000, was he at his peak? Maybe, I don't know. Probably not that much, but
Declan.
Yeah,
he would have been decent, wouldn't he?
What about you?
I remember there's a guy called Yuki Ohashi. This might be a bit niche. Here he is. He plays for San Frecce now, and here's the price graph of. I bought him and then couldn't sell him to save my life, and now he's up here, nearly £1,000 for his San Frecce one, and I really could do with him now. An inconvenient sell. Yeah, I didn't know he was going to go to San Frecce and be amazing, but yeah, I wish I hadn't sold that super rare. But yeah, nothing too mad. There's so many opportunities back in the day, though, wasn't there? That was the mad thing.
I know. You only put in what you can, but I just wish I had like 50 grand at the time we started and not like £500, because we could have just mopped up, couldn't we? It would have been great.
I think I had a good run. I think there was a decent price Jackson Yule unique as well at one point, which I wish I'd bought. So I could have had the Prince of the MLS in the club. Obviously, wouldn't be very good now, but yeah, that's the one I wish I had. All right, next question. It's a very simple one, this one. Classic or in season?
A classic for me. Got my majority of my gallery is classic. So
retro all the way for you.
I'm retro all the way. I like retro stuff. Retro stuff's cool.
Yeah, I like retro kits. I like retro clothes. Yeah.
If I see a retro card if I'm trying to buy someone and it's a little bit more expensive, like a really old school Genk card or anything in Belgium, I'd try and get that, because I just think they're so much cooler. Those OG sort of 2018-19 cards, they look cool.
Absolutely.
I've got a Roman Uramchuk 18-19. It's like the third ever minted rare Roman Uramchuk in Sorare. I mean, he's rubbish now, but that's kind of cool.
He scored the other day.
I did.
Yeah. I'd always go for the older ones. I love the original 2-season cards on here. I'd happily pay a little bit more to get one of those. Absolutely agree. All right. Next one. What's the best flavor of ice cream?
Ooh. I mean, I always get double scoops when I go to the ice cream parlors, so I'm just going to start off there. I don't know if I'm allowed to say 2.
Well, you know, the world's your oyster.
I go for mint choc chip and like some sort of like toffee honeycomb one that's got a bit of crunch in it. Those are my 2 go-tos.
All right. Okay. Mint choc chip. How very original of you. I'm not sure anyone said that before.
Well, it's better than saying bloody vanilla, strawberry, or chocolate, isn't it?
All right. Yeah, I'm a bit of a raspberry ripple guy for myself. Do like a raspberry ripple.
Bit posh.
Yeah. Okay. Last question in the warm up. Everton are wound up and no longer exist tomorrow.
Quite
you
like
have to support a new football team.
No.
Who is it?
How do I even answer this question? Does it have to be a Premier League team, or can it just be
anyone in the world? This is your new only team you support.
I think I'd probably have to say Bristol City. Like I've obviously been to a lot of Bristol City games since I moved to Bristol about 10 years ago. I think I've probably been to 20 plus games with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do follow them. I'd like to see them in the Prem. Obviously, if they played Everton, I hope Everton dick them. But, you know, if Everton were no longer to exist tomorrow, which is quite likely.
Yeah, I mean, it's as close as it's ever been, right?
Yeah. We could be restarting as Everton City in like the National League North. But yeah, I'd go for Bristol City, and then I'd obviously support any Phoenix club that Everton formed.
All right, good answer. I'll take that. All right, that's 5 and kicking, the warm-up, all done. Before we get into the main crux of the podcast, I like to slot in the little plea to all the fans before we get going. So here it is. Got to put the work in. So thanks to anyone who's joining us now, watching or listening afterwards. Please like and subscribe and all that vibe and spread positivity for us and the podcast and make us very happy this weekend. Thanks for joining us.
That's nice, isn't it?
There we go. And now back on topic. MLB. I see the MLB season's just it's not kicked off, is it?
About
pitched off, bunted off,
bunted
off,
batted off, thwack off.
Yeah, pitched off. I don't know. I take it you got zero interest.
Yeah, zero interest. But I like people playing Sorare, whether that's MLB. So I hope it goes well for whoever's playing it. But yeah, I don't have any interest in the MLB. It's quite dull, I find. But then I love watching cricket, and people probably find that really dull. So
yeah, I tried when it first came out. I was just rolling out teams, winning a few prizes and stuff, but there was zero engagement from me. And it's kind of like what I'm feeling with NBA. I really love the NBA. I check the news every day on the NBA, but the game's not as engaging as the football side of thing. Just because
I think it's just because of Europe is not so into it, and I genuinely think it's like American sports and Sorare seem more like betting, and obviously betting is illegal in many states in America, so it's a difficult nut to crack, isn't it?
Yeah, but, it's hard as well. There's less, we've got 1 million teams to enter for football tomorrow. It's not what happens on the NBA side of things. Just feels a bit more stagnant to me, and I'm not winning anything. Which
has the NBA started already? Was it?
We're well into the season. Well into the season. It's just when you're not winning anything, you're not winning any cash or any ETH or anything. It's just like doesn't take your attention. But I do love the NBA, and I will definitely keep some of my cards.
Actually, talking of NBA, I've got one NBA card, which is when we first started and we were doing those common comps. I won a limited card that was no idea who he is. I had an offer for it the other day. 20p I got offered, and then I went on to his recent sales and he sold for £1, and I rejected it. Went, that's way too low, mate. And he didn't come back to me. So
fortunately, you can now tick the box and say this offer is too low, so everyone knows what you mean nowadays because it's so rare, it's advanced.
I want it to be a custom one though, so fuck off, mate. I just want to type my own stuff in it.
And the community managers would be working overtime, banning people and putting people on cooldowns for.
I don't know about you. I always used to think that with Football Manager. You did the pre-match or post-match presses, and it's just you could say the same bloody 4 things every time. I wanted one to be these fucking players are a disgrace. I wanted to get it up them. Do you know what I mean? Just couldn't do it.
Get out. There was one you could type in your own message, wasn't there? And then just post it. It would just come up on the screen, but.
That was it.
Obviously, it wasn't advanced enough to know that you were insulting the other manager heavily. But anyway, new Sorare. Well, the middle Sorare, right? New Sorare again will come in August. But for now, the transition Sorare. So when it came out, definitely confused me a little bit. Not confused, overwhelmed me maybe slightly. A lot going on, isn't there? A lot going on. I thought we were meant to be simplifying the process. Definitely feels like it's definitely gone away from simplifying in my eyes. And I thought maybe the simplifying of things was to attract new users. So what were your thoughts when it got released on Tuesday? What were your first initial immediate thoughts?
My first impressions immediately were I like what they've done with the interface. I think it looks cool, it looks professional, doesn't it? I think we can agree the graphics and everything looks cool. It's kind of given me the vibes of when they first released the ideas of this sort of coming in. And do you remember training, when they were going to do training, you were going to create your own training facilities. It kind of looks really sharp. I like the way it looks. Navigationally, I don't like it at all. I think it needs a lot of work. Obviously, this isn't a beta, but it is something that's new. And there's been some feedback to them already on Twitter, and they've
Yeah, they've definitely already made some changes.
Yeah, they've definitely made some change already. I do think there's still a few changes needed. I don't like how the green ticks and yellow boxes next to the teams you've done or haven't done are really small. I want it to be more obvious where I've put my teams and where I haven't, if that makes sense. And also something we have discussed, I really like the fact that you can name your teams for the contender, challenger, and champion and Premier League things. I'd like to be able to do it for all of them, for the cap teams and the all-star teams as well, but you can't do it for those. But it should be easier to do that as well, because you have to click onto the team, don't you, that you've created, and then click on. Like
I say here, I was originally just thinking this pencil should do it.
Yeah,
and I was going in, and it takes me into this edit screen where I can't do it, and I was like, well, what am I doing wrong? You need to click on the team as you showed me, and then you can edit it here. It's a bit clunky, isn't it? And I'm sure they'll work on it, but it just something like that seems to me like, how did it get through the people checking it before they did it? I don't know. It just seems. Yeah, you can see they've put the number of entrants in here, promotion and relegation, so it's starting to fill out. Just this page isn't that obvious to people, is it? That's
one other thing I found really annoying is when trying to set your teams on the web browser on your phone, you can't see the rules of the competition that you're trying to enter. Unless I'm being stupid. Maybe I'm being stupid, I don't know. And obviously you can go and find the rules if you sort of click out and then go onto Discord or go onto the announcements or whatever. It just needs a little bit of fine tuning. But other than that, I'm liking the fact that I can now use all my limited players effectively, because you can add 3. I think you can have 3 teams per classic mode, can't you?
Yeah, I think we'll definitely get used to it, but it feels quite like a lot going on here to start with, numbers and boxes and letters and stuff. I do like the naming your teams. Like if I'm going to use my Austin stack in the same division every time, I like to do things like that with collections. That's kind of fun. Yeah,
and obviously the leagues or the divisions that you're in are in those little boxes on the left that say the little shield sort of emblems there. Which kind of took me about 10-15 minutes to realise when it first was announced.
Yeah, they weren't team 1, 2, 3. That's your divisions. Yeah. There's so many teams now, though. Like my toxic trait on Sorare is buying filler players right before deadline for like extra teams. I do it all the time. Like I can just get one more out. I just get one more player in. This new setup does not help with that at all. Awful. Tomorrow is Bristol City versus Leicester. 12:30 kickoff. So usually I'm a late doer of my teams.
Of course,
a late doer. I like to do it. I usually like 1:30 till 3. I'll do my teams. Obviously, it's not possible because I'm going to be coming out of the game about 2:30. So yeah, I need to do them all tonight after this podcast. I've sort of got them on Sorare data, but I haven't put them in yet.
You can probably leave at half time when you're 4-0 down at home to Leicester, mate. So, and also don't worry because the 4G will be great in the stadium. She'll be able to do it.
Yeah, this is the problem, and as well, like something I'm going to go into a bit. I've got a lot of Championship this week because Championship got double game week, and their teams are announced at 2 p.m. tomorrow, so an hour before deadline, which is great until the thought that I'm actually coming out of the ground at 2:30, and I'm going to have to try and check the team sheets. For a friend's birthday, we're going out early, so I've had a few beers as well. So it's going to be like 2:30, terrible signal, trying to check the Championship team sheets, whether those players are lined up, whether they're in or out. Yeah, it's going to be chaos. I'm not.
Do you want me to give me your login details, mate? I'll do it for you.
Yeah, hopefully, if we're 4-0 down by half time, I can spend the second half doing my teams in the stand while everyone else is watching the game and not using the 4G.
That's true.
So yeah. I am excited. I'm excited though. So yeah, good day tomorrow. Have you made? So that was our first thoughts on it. I think it's nice. Ideas. It does feel like quite a lot going on and quite a lot to do. But it's early days and it's something new to get used to. We're used to doing it a certain way for a long time. So this should hopefully grow on us in a couple of weeks. But have you bought any players for this? We don't really go into our galleries that much, have we? Have you bought any players in the build up to this?
I have. I bought someone you may have heard of. It's a little bit of a marquee signing. Let me share my screen.
Treated yourself.
I have treated myself. It was a bit of a trade. I'm not usually a trader. I'm usually a purchaser, but I've been skint recently, so I've just been doing a load of trading of crappy old players I don't want. So here we go. In fact, I might even put him in my Hall of Fame, and you'll see him behind here in that little grey area. I have bought if it ever loads, Jude Bellingham.
Wowzers.
In-season card. It wasn't purely for this transition. I do want to put together a really good elite champion new season team, and he's obviously going to be in that. It is also looking forward to the Euros. I've got a Kane and a Pickford, and I want to put together a little England stack. And I don't feel like you can do an England stack if you don't have a Jude Bellingham, personally. So managed to trade away some Dross and a little bit of ETH with a bot who gave me a good deal, I thought. Also bought a Salinga and a Maury Dior, who could be a long lost relation, I don't know. But I traded away a couple of other rare keepers that I didn't want. One of which was Eloy Room, an OG, who's about to get relegated into a non-covered division. So I managed to get a bit of ETH for him. Those two keepers are going to do me well So Rafa Salinga will be a contender keeper for me, and Moridor is a champion keeper. They could potentially get relegated, but the second division is still covered, so that's good. And then I bought an Usami. I wanted to sort of strengthen my forwards for contender a little bit as well. He's started the season on fire for Gamba Osaka. I think he's got 4 or 5 goals in the first 3 games.
I used to own his cards.
Obviously had that really bad injury, didn't he? I think he missed the whole of the season before last, potentially, or like most of it. A few other players I bought. Those 2 I bought for international break, and I bought a Morgan Gibbs White because he was dirt cheap, I thought. So I haven't done a huge amount of purchasing for the game. I kind of wanted to see how my gallery fell into it first. Usually I'm a big fan of sort of pre-planning and doing a spreadsheet for this type of thing, but I just haven't had the time. So it's I'm doing a spreadsheet now and seeing where my gallery falls, where its strengths and weaknesses are. I'm very weak in season, and we've talked about this before. If there's competitions open and I'm not in them, I want to be in them. So I'm going to end up buying cards or trading for cards, I'm sure, and hopefully win some in-season cards with these classic season comps. But I know you've been a lot more busy with your purchases, haven't you? Would you like to show your gallery?
Yeah, I've been very busy. I've done a few trades trying to raise funds where I got like 70% of it in fiat or ETH, and then a few cards on top. So, and I've been using those few cards to trade with bots for more cards and stuff. But this is a lot of fluff was picked up. But then I love the Championship and MLS, and this double game week, which I picked up on. I really want to be involved in this Championship double game week. I think it's really good for like the threshold modes to try and hit like the middle cap. I love the double chance you get with a lot of them. So we started with like Tanganga, Zion Fleming, and then really this is where we started making moves for the game week. Norwich have obviously got one really good game, one not so good game. So we picked up Stacey and Gibson at the back in new season, in rare and in limited. I thought they were pretty good prices. Luke Ayling came in both times. Ex-Yeovil Town back in the day when I watched him when I was down there. Ethan Horvath has come in twice, double game week for a goalie. I thought he's reasonable price. I think today he went for someone messaged me on Discord and said you got a very good deal there, because he went for 147 quid today, and 2 days ago I got him for about 80. So
nice, very good.
Trying to get in on that, and some Firpo. Jonathan Vieira was second on the pick scores for the week, and his rare and limited were very cheap, so I picked them up. Kone Ugbo, who I used to own, got rid of. He's back in. I bought Gilekins for 0 cost goalie for the week. Casey
Casey
Palmer,
Palmer.
ex-Bristol City legend, played twice for Jamaica, so I don't know if he's going to get both starts. And Josh Eccles.
£5 though. £5 for rare. I mean, you can't go wrong with that money. You're not going to lose money there. There's no way you can't make £5 back selling them at least.
A lot of the championship cards have gone really mad because I've been looking from a week out when I started picking them up, and I sort of jotted down some of the prices, and they've like really skyrocketed as more people have picked up on like that double game week aspect, and they've really flown. But yeah, it's
not just that as well. I think it's the fact that they're the only second division out of the Champion Europe 5 top leagues that are in the Challenger, aren't they? The other 4 are all in Contender. So I think they're really pushing that probably to try and get English people involved and stuff. I know obviously you're very much into your Challenger with your MLS and Championship in it. But yeah, you got some decent little signings there, some good prices by the looks of it. I saw you had a Marco Royce as well. What was all that about?
That was in a trade. Someone wanted a card from me, and they were a little bit short, so they offered up a Marco Royce as well. And I was like, well, big name, plays for Dortmund, should be sellable. So yeah, we picked that up in a little trade. We've got a lot of those bits and pieces coming in. So yeah, we'll go into a bit more like what we're aiming for later on. But that was just what we've picked up. So yeah, divisions, we touched on that. So you get into, everyone was entered into division, then based on your gallery and the cards you own and the strength of it, and then if you have a second team that's entered in one division below your top team, and then if you enter a third team, it goes straight into Division 5 in the bottom. I guess that means some of the big hitters, big whales, will have some very strong teams in Division 5 for the first couple of weeks at least. Anyway, because they can get out 3 strong teams, but they'll after a couple of weeks everything will sort itself out. And I think from now until August, when it fully starts, skipping a week doesn't get you relegated, but after August it will. So for example, if you've got a Division 1 team, you don't enter it this week, you won't get relegated. In August, if you don't enter a team, you'll get relegated. So I guess that means if you have like a poor Division 1 lineup this week and you want to protect your Division 1 status, you could just not enter a team this week. But is it worth just chucking a team in if you've got it? Shoot for the stars. What do you think about division setup? Is it something that you're going to concentrate on, or are the other comps that's still there for now until August more of a focus for you? Like, are you hoping the crowds flock to these new competitions, and you're going to say, fuck it, I can't get relegated anyway, I'm going to go and play the other ones?
I mean, I like it. I think these divisions are cool. I'm sure after this first game week starts, maybe we'll be able to actually see the divisions, see the league table, see the leaderboard. I'm sure it will show something that will sort of get the buzz going a little bit. When like if I'm sitting there in the relegation zone, I'll be like, fuck that, I want to win this. Come on. And if I can see someone we're both of us are on Twitter a lot, aren't we? And we know names of a lot of people on Sorare. And if someone's just above me or whatever, I'll be like, right, come on, let's have him. I think it's good. I do think it is good, and I'm interested to see what it will look like once it's sort of live.
Yeah, I like the idea from giving people something else apart from money and cards, another reason to play.
Yeah,
sort of like
it's like Football Manager almost in a way, isn't it? You've got your team. We've seen this with a lot of our friends. With our friend Brendan, he pretty much puts the same 5 absolute studs in his global all-star every week. He's been doing really well. And if you've got that same 4 or 5 players you're putting in these new comps, and you're going up and down the leaderboard, it sort of gets you into it. They have the same team name every week. You're giving them the cool name that you want to give them, and it gets you a bit more invested into it, I think. A bit more bragging rights as well if you're getting promoted, relegated, whatever. And the prizes obviously get better as you go up divisions, don't they? So
yeah, they touched on it with like rivals, the score count against your friends or people you're playing, and like showing how many points you've got and like a leaderboard. First to this gets this. But yeah, like divisions is like another way to entice people in, isn't it? I think live leaderboards would be a really cool thing as well. And you'd be like, oh, I'm above you. Like, I got promoted, you got relegated. Because you've got 3 teams in each. I wonder if it's like diluted a bit You know, like, well, I've got a team in 3, 4, and 5. You know, I like the idea of like something else to aim for. I do think it's good for that. Another reason to like, wow, got promoted this week. You know, I think it's more fun than just entering your teams each week and then it's done. You move on to the next week. At least like this is another angle to think about. And maybe, yeah, you want to go higher to win better prizes. And maybe this does that without overcomplicating the product too much, which is like what you're always at risk of. Is at heart, it's still got to be like a fairly easy to play game, hasn't it? You don't want it to be too in depth. But yeah. What divisions did you get? Did you get anything good?
What did I get? Let me just bring it up again.
Let's have a look. I got mine up while
yeah, you go for yours first then. Let's see where you're at.
I think so. Yeah, I do like the idea as well, like naming your team, like the Thursday Club Superheroes or whatever.
Maybe don't call it that, but yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Do like something on we could do something on stream. Like these are the 5 so rare Thursday Club legends or whatever, and we play them in the same team. I like the angle that you could go with that. But yeah, we got a classic season Division 1 in the Premier League.
I'm trying to compare mine to yours at the same time. Here we go. So you've got classic season. See, also, it's not very clear, classic season. It needs to be like more distinct from each other, don't they? I think.
Yeah, I'd have them completely different styles. So.
Yeah, completely different colours or something. I don't know. I mean, I think they technically are. I think in seasons like silver or like glistening blue or something, and then classic season's grey, but it's not exactly clear. Anyway, I'm classic season limited League 1 as well, so we're in the same league there. I think you're in season rare. You're in 2 and 3, aren't you? I'm in 3. 3's my highest there. So
yeah,
my up the fucking toffee first, which is the name of my my rare team, will be in your second team's division, and then I've got in season. I'm 2nd and 3rd for limited, 2nd and 3rd division. I don't know what you were there.
No, we got a couple of 1s in the champion in season and classic season, and then 2s and 3s in the rares.
Exactly the same as me.
Yeah. Challenger, I've got a Division 2 super rare team. 1 in the classic season limited, and then 2s and 3s everywhere else.
Classic season limited. Yeah, I'm 1 as well. I'm in 1 in classic rare for Challenger.
Yeah. Oh, that's very nice. I don't have. Yeah, I'm 2 for classic and 2 for in season, and then down in contenders we've got a classic in Division 1 as well.
Same.
But yeah, I don't have anything in season in contender because I haven't picked any of them up. And then we got these at the bottom. Training. I'm not sure I want to enter any training teams this week. Not with the Liverpool squad on the badge. I'm not about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Staying away from that. They're sort of forgotten down here, aren't they? Under 23, you know, a lot of people are pointing out that they're going to have multiple entries and stuff, aren't they, for under 23 from August as well. So that's still like a nice competition, I think. Yeah,
they actually become more prominent once you enter them. If I share my screen with you, so mine looks like yours did, just the tiny little squares at the bottom. Once you enter them, they become big squares that take up the entire box here. So this before for you was 1, 2, 3, 4 taking up this whole thing.
Yeah.
Once you enter them, it shows them a bit bigger, which is good. But yeah,
I like under 23. I'm glad it's staying around. It's been given a bit of a, you know, it's still got a bit of life to it. Yeah, but
I think it had to, and I think they've announced it's staying full time, haven't they? Have I missed? Did I?
Yeah. It's staying. It's got divisions. It's got. Is it got divisions? It's got multi-entry, and something else. But yeah, it's still going to be around. I like it. I think it's a good comp, and I think it's a fun angle to scout and pick up players and stuff. So that's good. Okay, and obviously we've got the forgotten love child, the Thresholds. Thresholds still playing. Priority? Not a priority?
I mean, that's still a priority for me, but I'm only still playing them because, you know,
you love money and ETH.
Well, I've got a big gallery because we were lucky the time we got on. Like, I mean, if I was a newbie, I'd still be focusing on that. You know, you can get more for your money through this ETH. You can probably buy a tier 2 prize from the other comps, the new comps with the middle threshold of rare ETH, can't you? So yeah, I'm definitely still focusing on ETH as well. My global all-star team is the one that's sort of taken a back seat. I've put it to the bottom of my sort of importance levels now, so I can put these new competitions in. But yeah, I'm still doing the caps, and you are as well, I presume.
Yeah, Cap 240 definitely still interests me. I'm not sure if for how definitely this week, because I've got obviously a lot of championship players now, double game weeks. It really feels like that balanced up well to try and get like the middle tier, like push up and go right. I think I'm pretty confident getting the middle tier because my players got 2 chances, not only to start, maybe to bag a decisive, and that extra play. So like in Cap 240, I think I've got 4 championship players and the goalie. So yeah, I still like them because I like the money. As the card prices are coming down, it's still nice just to get a bit of cash straight into the account. So yeah, I still like them. On a tangent, what's your views on the loot boxes?
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, I enjoy opening the loot boxes. I have done on the Rivals game. I've literally won nothing apart from arena tickets in it. But there's always that chance. I always open it and think, oh, and then it's the arena ticket. But yeah, I think they're cool. And it's those boxes almost seem a little bit like gambling, don't they?
Yeah, a lot like gambling.
Which is probably why I like it. But yeah, and I think it's cool, and they've got different tiers of loot boxes, haven't they? They've got like star loot or tier 1 loot box, and they're a good added. They're almost like the gambling element that you need to.
We're not supposed to have. We might have, but we're not supposed to have. Yeah, obviously in the higher divisions, the loot boxes do look quite good, and I like the idea when it was brought in originally. Anyway, I think, like you said, being in Rivals and just getting shat on with 1 or 3 arena tickets constantly is sort of like dulls the excitement of a loot box for me and probably makes me less enthusiastic for these. Then
you get like 10 arena tickets once. That was like 2% chance of getting 10 arena tickets. So that was like the best thing we've ever had.
I've won 3 arena games in a row and I've won 3 more arena tickets. You're like, back it out. But some of these look nice, and there is in some of them like a nice high roll chance as well, which the lottery aspect, which I like. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'm brought back round to loot boxes. I liked when you used to play FIFA and stuff, and the cards would come out, and you'd like. So yeah, I do like the idea of it. I think Rivals just dampened it for me a little bit. But you did mention their big gallery problems. Obviously, you have got a big gallery. Mainly Everton players, but still a reasonably big gallery compared to like a newbie. So how have you found setting the lineups and things like that, and not being able to field every eligible team for a change because there's just far too many?
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to put at least 1 team out of 2 teams for every of like contender, champion, and challenger. They're not necessarily the strongest of teams, some of them, and my gallery has sort of tended towards certain divisions. It does seem to be quite strong in challenger and contender, not so much in champion, but that was the case before. I mean, champion hasn't changed, is it? It's still champion Europe, and I never really had that strong a champion Europe team.
Priced out of the top guys because you're not running Mbappe, Grimaldo, Griezmann.
And it's. I mean, I'd be. When they used to have those stats on what prizes you actually won in each competition. I think they got rid of it in the end on Sorare. And it's probably still available on Sorare Data with the membership, but obviously I don't pay that. But yeah, I reckon I've probably only won like 3 or 4 champion rare prizes in the last 3.5 years. Like, it's such a tough league to win it, isn't it? But then if you do win a tier 4, it's probably worth more than a tier 3 in another division. I can't remember the original question. What was the original question? I've gone off to a tangent.
How did you find like not having to omit teams and not being able to enter all teams? And
it's tough, and like we've discussed, it probably will mean I just end up trading or buying for more cards so I can enter them all. But yeah, it's good to be able to use all these extra keepers. It did seem that when I was setting my teams the last sort of few months, I've had like 5 spare limited starting goalkeepers every single week, and it has been a little bit frustrating because I've always got the outfielders I could use for that, and I'd be like, fucking hell, I'm not playing this guy and he's doing so well, I bet you he goes off, and then he does go off in a training team. So it's nice to be able to put those 3 maximum 3 teams per classic league in. You've got a much bigger gallery than me, so I presume you're...
Well, the old goalie bottleneck is back. Classic Sorare, like you said. It was originally a problem when we started, wasn't it? Everyone, price of goalies were absolutely mental because they were so important. And it seems like it's kind of back. Well, originally in this stage, people rushed to like try and enter all the competitions. And yeah, I'm definitely a few keepers short of being able to use all my players. In rare, limited's not so bad. Keepers are generally cheaper, and I built up a fair few anyway. But in rare, yeah, I'm definitely short by at least 3, 4, 5 from being able to enter like those extra filler teams. Not the best ones, but yeah. And I've noticed the prices have gone up in keepers as well, haven't they? They're the thing on the rise. Yeah.
It's good. And like I've noticed that, I'm quite weak in champion. Well, just any new season keepers. I've won quite a few new season outfielders over the last sort of 6 months, and obviously I've got my new season Everton stack. But I'm using that new season Everton stack in the Premier League thing. So when I'm trying to enter these champion new season cards, my one classic card in my new season comps is the goalkeeper every time. I'd quite like to have some new season goalkeeper options so that I can put an old season card in the outfield, if that makes sense, because you can only have one classic card in these new things, can't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I will have a little browse on the market. I've got like 15 quid to spend, but you can probably get a decent-ish champion new season. There's so many words now. Champion, new season, goalkeeper. I think there's a few about.
Yeah, I just sold an Okoye. Actually, the price went last week.
Oh, you won him last week, didn't you?
It's pretty mad. The goalkeeper. I think it was kind of obvious now when you think back to it. When you think back, loads more competitions. You need to enter loads more teams. Goalies are the thing that are going to be important again. So yeah, that was kind of obvious, wasn't it? That there was going to be a little rush on them. But yeah, the other thing that's new or controversial or maybe just discussed is captain bonus, right? 50% for your captain on top. That's only in the new modes, obviously, because they were never going to give us that in Cap 240. That would have been too nice. So it's only in the new modes, 50% captain bonus across the board. What do you think? Is that going to add variance and catch-up ability, or does it just make the Wales with Grimaldo and Mbappe stronger?
I mean, it's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot of percent. But the captain choice has always been pretty critical, isn't it? I mean, if your team does really well, but you make the wrong captain choice, it's unlikely you're going to do well. So it just doesn't really change a huge amount, I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen some people say, like, if you get the captain choice right, it gives like the lower accounts a better chance to compete. Or if you've got a DMP and your captain gets 100, you're still in the game and stuff. But my thought is, what's the likelihood of like your average to crap card with like, who scores like 30, 40, 30, 40, 80, 30, 40, 40, 80 compared to someone who's just going to run Grimaldo and captain him every week? I do think it favours the bigger accounts. Something like FPLs has 100% captain bonus, don't they? But obviously points are higher in this game. I think 20 was fine, 25.
Well, they had 50%, didn't they? In some of the comps,
270,
270, wasn't it? Yeah. So it's not a new thing. Maybe they were just trialing it to see how it affected the leaderboards and stuff. But I guess if Sorare thinking, if people are saying like, or people are just going to captain Grimaldo and like buy Grimaldo,
but that's not an option for most people, is it?
Well, you could like this is the thing. Like, I get it, and you want to be able to support the small accounts, the new accounts, the old accounts, the people who don't have as much money as the whales. But ultimately, you can't just expect to win shitloads of money if you don't put some money in as well. You've got to have some sort of belief in the game and some faith in the game to put some money in. I mean, don't get me wrong, buying a rare Grimaldo right now would be a bit mad, but you probably could pick up a limited Grimaldo if you're up for it, or for what, 80 quid? I don't know how much he's probably going to cost you right now. But
Grimaldo, let's have a look. He is new player pages. What do you think of these? Nice.
Haven't seen them till just now, but yeah, look great.
0.185 is his floor right now.
So for rare, but what's his limited price?
Limited 0.0329. So
that is probably about 80 quid. I mean,
that's a new season. His classic is 0.03.
Yeah, so if we're taking Grimaldo as an example, like, put a bit of money in, get a cheeky Grimaldo. I mean, look at those scores.
That chart is mental, isn't
it? He is a joke. Do you remember? Obviously, our mate Brendan has got Grimaldo, had a Grimaldo for like 3 years. And when he was at Benfica, he was doing that every week, wasn't it? And it was like, he's going to leave, he's going to do shit. And he's just gone to Bayer Leverkusen and done even better. And they haven't lost a game this season. That still baffles me. In any division, any cup, Champions League, whatever, well, I don't think they're in the Champions League, they're in the Europa League, aren't they? But what is going on there? Mental.
That he's so good. But yeah, that's slightly off topic. But yeah, I just think I don't like that massive extra variance. I don't think it's needed. But
one thing I would say about it is it's making actually managing your team worth a bit more, like decisions, because some people probably do just plug and play the same 5 players every week, not depending on fixtures or anything like that. This actually does make the manager have to think, like, is this team, they've got a home fixture, maybe their defense is going to have a lot of the ball, is going to get a lot of passes, last man tackles, I don't know, whatever. Like, it just makes people think a bit more if it's worth this much more to the team. This 50%
too much importance on one player. One player is so important to all of your new lineups. Like, he's got to go off for you to win. Your captain's got to go off. If your captain hits a 35,
game over.
It's just, yeah, it's taken away from having a really good 5-man team, and there's too much importance on one of them. So, yeah. But you could run like your 4 new in-season cards, and then run a classic belter who you've bought and captain him.
So so that's only new season, right? So captains in old season is just the standard 20, was it, or 25, or?
I think it's in all the new game modes, isn't it? So this feels like an important piece of information. Let's go and find out.
It does.
Here we are. So. Classic. Here we go.
27. So yeah, it's for the old modes, it's 20. So like all-star.
Yeah, for the old modes, but anything classic season or in season in the new modes is 50. As you can see
so
here.
It's just anything within the new modes is. Yeah. So what is it the same for Premier League, which I guess is classed as a new mode, but also isn't really because it's been around for ages.
Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure it is, but we will confirm.
Yeah, fucking is as well.
There you go.
That is important, isn't it? Christ. Go from 9% on Tarkowski to 59%.
59%, yeah.
You better get a freaking last man tackle, I tell you that now.
And something like the Austin boys, who I've got like 15% on or whatever, plus 50%. I could have a 60, like over 60% bonus on my captain. If it goes off for 100, like a Druisi or something, you get that's mad. Madness. It's so important.
It's the same with my Everton boys. I've got let's have a look here. 30, 45, 57, 130% bonus on my 5 players combined on my limited Everton new season stat. with the captain.
Mental.
Like, that's mental. Anyway, we've got off topic.
Okay, so let's end this bit with 50% captain bonus. Yes or no? Yay or nay?
Yay.
Nay. 1-1. Okay, so a few more bits to talk about. What are we aiming for? So obviously we're going to need a couple of weeks to let dust settle and like a clear strategy to the meta to come out. But what are we doing early on? So for me, I want to be a challenger bad boy. Challenger all the way for me. I just thought what my favorite leagues, Championship and MLS. I'd already got a fair bit of MLS, bought a new season stack in Austin as well. So everything pointing towards challenger for me. Those are the leagues I enjoy. I was like, fuck it, let's lean into what I enjoy. So I'm going to go be a challenger bad boy. So that's the main one I'm going to aim for in season and classic. So yeah, for me, I'm not desperate to buy new season cards. I have got that Austin stack, which lets me play MLS 3-week competition and then challenge a new season as well. So yeah, I'm also drawn to the cap modes. I still do like cap modes. Like I got 0 cost common goalie this week. Not common. They don't exist anymore. RIP. And my legend bad boys. Sorry to see you go. 0 cost limited goalie. So I put a nice cap 220 rare team out with a 0 limited goalie. And then I banged out. His name is Gillican.
Old Gillican.
Old Gillican.
Old Gillican. No idea what that is. But anyway, yeah.
His name, here he is. I think Ulrich Neuer's backup is also a 0 cost goalie this week. But this is who I've gone for. Old Nick Gillikens.
Old Nick Gillikens.
Yeah, and Ulrich is one as well. But so yeah, I still like the idea of like having a 0, like trying to find a cheat way into the cap modes and then putting in 4 decent players with it. I've always liked Cap 220, even though the rules haven't been that great. So yeah, that's still like I still like to play them. Like you said, probably ignoring Ghoul's Star just doesn't appeal to me at all. But yeah, I think in this stage where I can't get relegated from divisions by not playing them, I'm happy to like bypass some of these new modes at the moment till it settles down and carry on going with some of the older stuff till I've got like a proper strategy. And obviously, if we get them relegated straight away, I might change. That might have been different, but that's what I'm doing to start with. Challenger bad boy. What about you?
Got to say, I'm kind of agreeing with you. Actually, I've got a pretty strong MLS contingent. I've got Jesus Ferreira, Buanga, Ryan Gould, Acosta, all in rare, and quite a lot of average to good rare defenders. Obviously, Crep as well. So yeah, I'm liking my MLS chances. I'm a big fan of Portuguese as well, Portuguese leagues, and they're also in Challenger. So I've got quite a lot of Benfica players, got quite a few, Benfica rares, and I've got a lot of Porto limiteds. So I'm pretty strong across the board in Challenger. Obviously, I've got my cheeky little Asian persuasions in the Contender League, which I'm enjoying as well. Champion is something which I'm probably going to treat as the same as I did before, which was, I'll add some teams in, but if I win something, it's a bonus. It's not something I'm aiming to win anything in, because obviously I'm not running an Mbappe and all that stuff. Although now I've got a Bellingham new season card, I might try and put a pretty decent, strong, limited new season stack together if I can. Premier League stuff, I'm still just going to run my Everton stacks every week. That's not going to change. I love, even if I look at I've got a lot of other pretty elite Premier League players limited, like Rodri and Bruno Fernandes, some other bits and bobs. I'm still just going to put my Everton stack because I want to win with my Everton stack. I don't care if Rodri's got home to Luton and Bruno's at home to freaking Sheffield United. I want Decore to score. Even though he's definitely good. So like I'm always going to put that little Premier League stack in there. But yeah, global.
I've still got the Everton and the Man United stacks to roll out in the new season. Man City in the old one. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm hooked in on Everton, sadly.
Hey mate, they won you a lot of money on the Premier League.
They did have a good streak. Yeah. All right, so similar to me then. We've both got similar thoughts. Have you built anything so far?
I've built a lot of teams so far. Should I put some on screen?
Show a couple of your favourites for the weekend.
Yeah, let's have a look here. So, even though you don't have to put all of your cards, see, this is just why it's really not good. It's so laggy to click. And also, if you notice, if you change your team and then go back onto home screen, it doesn't update the players on the front for ages, like hours.
I haven't noticed that yet. I haven't really been putting my teams in there yet.
Yeah. Anyway, so not that team. So my Challenger Rare Classic Season team in Div 1. I'm pretty excited for this. So Dennis Bouanga, captain, obviously fresh off 100. Finally, welcome to the season, Dennis Bouanga. Jesus Ferreira, tough fixture away to Austin, but if Dallas score a goal, it's invariably him with an assist or a goal. Lucho Acosta, obviously stud player, could do really well. Crep is back from international duty and should be back in, I think. Justin Glad has been scoring really well recently and got a pretty good fixture at home. So yeah, I'm liking that team a lot. Why can't you just click on them here and it brings them up?
Yeah.
Yeah, my second team, I'm kind of liking that as well. Obviously, my second keeper's not got a good fixture there away to final, so I'm not expecting big things from them. But sometimes, as you well know, having a keeper with a really tough game ends up them getting a pretty decent score if they don't concede 3.
Exactly. Better than a keeper with a really good game who ends up letting 1 in, does nothing else, and has a terrible score.
Exactly. Yeah, I've like a few of my teams, to be honest. And, one thing we haven't discussed actually, and which is relevant here, is that you can, I don't know if we're going to get to it, but you can put rares in limited teams, can't you? Or you can put super rares in them as well. They just don't take the bonus of the rare, do they?
Yeah, to start with, I didn't feel like there was going to be much need for that, but sometimes it is good when you've got like a gap to fill.
Yeah.
Like, well, I've got a load of spare cards because I don't have enough rare goalies to fill the team, so dropping them down makes sense because they haven't got a goalie to play with them rare anyway.
Great. And then this, I might as well show my team with Bellingham. So I've got Bellingham captain here in Champion New Zealand. I mean, apparently I'm champion in season Division 1, which is, I think, purely because I bought Bellingham like 3 days before it started, because I've got fuck all champion cards in season. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes hasn't been his normal incredible self for Man United. Does really well for Portugal. It still scores pretty well for United, but yeah, could go well for United on the weekend. Tosin Adarabioyo, yeah, he's 95% start and playing Sheffield United, so hopefully he'll do well. Mason Greenwood, I don't know if we're allowed to mention his name, but yeah, Mason Greenwood has got a pretty good fixture. And then, yeah, Frederick Runoff. So it's not, I mean, I'm looking at that now thinking I need to make some changes to that immediately, because that seems like a waste of Bellingham with a Fulham defender and a rapist up top.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it didn't rape, or did he, actually? Yeah, I've got a few good teams. I've got a full Asian rare stack as well for my contender. Let's load that. Yeah, I'm liking this team a lot this week. Bought Asami in. Kosi Tanai started the season really well for his new team. I think they're top of the league. Yeah, that's a pretty strong team as well. But yeah, I've got a few options. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it all goes tomorrow. And obviously, being this international break as well, there's an extra buzz because people have been deprived of football for 2.5 weeks or however long it's been.
But also an extra potential pitfalls as people make long journeys back, and people who've pretended they've got niggles so they don't have to play or can get out the second game and stuff. Are they going to play? There's a lot up in the air, isn't there, when it comes to this?
Yeah, there always is, and it's not pleasant, is it? Usually when a team has played sort of as an international team's played like Friday, Monday in the international break, they're usually back fine, aren't they? Especially if they've got the Monday home game. But sometimes they play like Saturday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Wednesday night, like Tuesday, Wednesday night, don't they? And don't get back till like Thursday, and then their game for the clubs on Saturday. So yeah. There's going to be some annoying, like, go fucks on Twitter this week, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. So I haven't set all of my teams. I've got a lot of limited to do, but I've started to put some together. Obviously, I wanted to concentrate on Challenger. Norwich stand out as a really good, team this week, so you can see they're heavily focused in my top 2 teams. Gabriel Sara is an absolute wonder boy recently, one of my best holds as well. So, yeah, I like these championship heavy double game weeks all over the place, hoping that gives you a really solid floor for your team. PL Classic, we've gone Man City with my old Man City stack, and then instead of Diaz, I chucked in a Destiny home to Luton, hoping that he does something there. And then a bit of a Man United stack for my in-season team, but with a James Tarkowski at the back. You know, Bournemouth should be a team that Everton could put up a good performance against. Not guaranteed it will happen, but they've got a chance. And we see a lone Jack Harrison in here with a Jordan Pickford in, with a bit of a mesh of other players as well. Here's my zero-cost goalie in with a handle championship player with double game week. Coates is obviously a really strong player. And Machina, who's got a very good home game. Cap 240, like I said earlier, I've gone 4 championship players. Ross McCrory's only got 1 game for Bristol City. I was lured in by a Bristol City player, but he's got Plymouth. So potentially, a decent game for them there. Yeah, some nice games here for my Cap 270, but I have a goalie. Challenger again, 5 double game week players. Let's bang in these double game weeks. And then I like these teams. I don't think I don't get the sense of they're going to win the whole thing, but I feel like a lot of these double game weeks in there is going to give me a good chance at getting into the prizes somewhere. PL in season rare, you might like my Fulham Everton mix here. 2 Fulham, although Calvert-Lewin's going to be on the bench. Apparently, you're the play sharper Everton expert.
Well, it's risky. I mean, Beto started the last game, so Dyche likes to keep it as it is. Sometimes, even if he does start, Calvert-Lewin's probably not going to score. So he hasn't scored in about 100 games.
Yeah.
And I noticed you put you put Neto in goal against McNeil and Garner in that other team. So it's unlikely all 3 of them will do well.
So we need some edits here. But sort the Everton boys out. We've got a Cap 240 Super Rare team out. Neither of my defenders, my Super Rares need sorting out. I need to sell my Champion Europe ones and just focus all into Challenger. But and there's the Austin boys. 3 of the Austin boys out with the 2 legends of my So Rare gallery, Jackson Ewell and Max Krepp. So that's what I've built so far. We still got a long night ahead of putting the teams in, because obviously we're out at the football tomorrow. I do always like to save 1 prize for the stream.
Oh, of course.
I also got a tier 5 in here, which I'm just going to chuck into a giveaway. Probably do a giveaway next week because I'm busy tomorrow. But whatever this is can go into a giveaway, along with some other cards. Japanese mids. New season card.
What was going to be Lucas Fernandez then?
My first new J League card. Tamada. Let's see what he's worth.
How are you looking here? Okay.
Hirotaki Taka. He is new season floor 0007.
Not bad for a tier 5.
I've had worse from tier 5. And then this is a tier 2 from Champion America Limited. Became 49th.
Be a goalkeeper, 100%.
American goalkeeper. Chris Brady.
Nice.
Under 23 goalkeeper.
He's under 23 as well, isn't he?
That feels like a nice tier 2 pull.
Jesus, he's worth freaking like 80 quid.
Is he?
Well, his floor price is 0.03.
Woo! What a tier 2 then.
Is that the best limited prize opening we've ever seen on the channel?
That is tasty, isn't it? For a tier 2.
The prices are a little bit mad for the new season ones at the moment. So if you are going to sell, get him gone.
Yeah, he might go straight up.
He's still under 23 till 2028, mate. That could be a hell of a win for you.
Well, I'm very happy with that.
You can start. Hey, how far away are you from entering a one of these MLS weekly teams then? Now, if you just want to keep it, because you only need 3 new season cards, don't you?
I don't think I've got enough. I bought all rares. I haven't mixed in the new season limited ones.
There's still time, mate.
Get
another beer in you and start purchasing some bloody Chicago Fire new season cards.
Just get 2 more. We're also in 10th this week in Cap 220 Rare captained the wrong person. I took it off Mudryk at the last minute and put it onto Harry Wilson. But we've got Jaffet going for us tomorrow. So
up the Jaffet.
Up the Jaffet. Hopefully he can secure us a tier 3. I'd be very happy with a tier 3.
Yeah, that's looking all right.
Going on. So yeah. No keeper club this week. Unfortunately, the old international breaks put paid to any keeper 100s. So club is still bouncing with 7 members from last week. So yeah, I think we've been going on for quite enough for one podcast. Yeah, that is probably the most in-depth we've gone into a subject in a very long time without just talking about potatoes or something. So yeah, big weekend ahead, big night of setting teams. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. May the decisors be with you this weekend and you have a successful promotion-filled first weekend in the new transitional Sorare. Please like and subscribe and all that vibe on your way out the door. And yeah, we'll see you on the other side. We'll be back next week. But for now, Viva la Thursday Club.
Up the bloody toffees. Come on.